Don Lemon screamed at CNN This Morning co-host, which left crew rattled, according to sources. So let's get right into it. Tensions on the set of CNN This Morning have recently boiled over, with Don Lemon allegedly screaming at co-host Caitlin Collins off camera during an ugly December incident that has left the cast and crew rattled ever since, the Post has learned. What I find interesting though is why is this now just being a story, right? If this was a big deal, why not just do this at that time? So, according to two sources with knowledge of the situation, the 56-year-old Lemon, I say Lemon, I think it's pronounced Lemon, but I'm just going to keep saying Lemon. It's just easier, honestly. Approached 30-year-old Collins following the show's Thursday, December 8th broadcast and unloaded on her in front of staffers as he accused her of interrupting him on air. Don screamed at Caitlin, who was visibly upset and ran out of the studio, one source with knowledge of the skirmish said. And here's the thing. What is gained from yelling at another person that you have an issue with, right? Do you think that's actually going to solve the problem? Do you think you're going to get what you want from yelling at that person? Probably not. You know, you tend to get more with honey than you do with a smack to the face. You know, news of the explosive incident made its way up to CNN CEO Chris Litt, who is said to have been appalled by Lemon's behavior, according to a source. A second source said a producer talked to Lemon at the behest of Litt and told the anchor to take the next day off to cool off. The following night, the three co-hosts were slated to get drinks and arrived together at a White House Christmas party for the press, a source said. But the pre-party gathering never happened after the emotional day, and they trickled in to the bash separately, an insider with knowledge said. After the party, Lemon had a late-night dinner with his agent, Jay Schurz, according to sources. And the situation was especially awkward because Collins, a rising star who had most recently served as CNN's youngest chief White House correspondent, is also represented by the powerful and well-connected Schurz. While he dined with Lemon, Collins met up with the show's other co-anchor, Poppy Harlow, the sources said. And at this point, Caitlin wants to be on set with Don as little as possible. A source with knowledge of the situation added, "It's messy." Well, this is the thing. And say you were working a job, but someone who felt entitled to everything started to yell at you because they thought or believed that you did a wrong to them. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, maybe it was by accident, I don't know. But they just go over the top in terms of their reaction to whatever the situation was, right? And this person has more money than you, has made more money than you, was a bigger star than you, and is crashing down. And now you're having to deal with basically a male Karen complaining, yelling at you. Like, do you really want to deal with that? Do you really want to be around that? Probably not. Neither Lemon nor Collins responded to requests for comment. A rep from CNN declined to comment on the incident, but said in just 3 months, these anchors have created a compelling morning show that breaks news and drives the conversation. I'll be honest, this is the first time that I've heard that they were doing a morning show, I think. I read an article that, Don Lemon was basically being forced to move because, Chris Litt, I think, was, firing everyone, but decided to move Don Lemon to the morning show. I didn't realize it was this one, right? But I don't know. Let's see. So, the December 8th blowup wasn't the first sign of trouble at CNN This Morning. Since the show's November 1st launch, wow, they launched in November? A week earlier, Lemon got into an awkward dispute with Collins and Harlow on air, arguing that the U.S. men's soccer team should get paid more than the women's team despite the men's relative lack of success at the World Cup. The dust-up made headlines with the Daily Beast quoting Lemon saying The men were more interesting to watch, a comment Lemon quickly walked back and insisted was a joke. The only problem is, more people will watch the men's soccer team versus the girls' soccer team. That's the reality. Late last month, Eric Hall, executive producer of CNN This Morning, was reportedly ousted from the helm of the show and moved to a new role at the 11 p.m. hour of CNN Tonight. And CNN didn't comment on the move earlier this week. The network tapped former CBS producer Chris Russell to replace Hall. Collins and Lemon, meanwhile, have been on set together less frequently since the purported dust-up. Lemon was most recently sent to Memphis to quarterback coverage on the death of Tyree Nichols. Collins had been working remotely from Washington, D.C. on and off in January. A CNN rep said Collins has been on assignment as she also serves as the chief correspondent for the show, adding, "The intent was always for the anchors to get out from behind the news desk, and they're doing an extraordinary job taking viewers inside the most important news stories of the day." Which, by the way, what amazes me about these anchors, right? Anchors, is that they're basically just talking heads. And they make so much money. Like, I'm talking that a lot of these anchors are making like 10 million a year, 5 million a year, right? Some of them maybe even 20 million a year. And you're like, what value are you bringing? Now, I understand that if you're bringing like attention, there's always money behind that. But at the same time, some of their shows are like very, very, very tiny compared to like internet shows. Like, there's a lot of internet shows out there that exist that in one video will blow them out of the water for their whole show for the week. Like, it's pretty crazy. So to address tensions, a second source told the Post that Dawn has been given notes by the show's producers to not talk so much, to let other people talk. So basically, they told him to shut up. I think that's hilarious. But here's the thing. Let's say that you were getting paid, I don't know, like $5 million a year. If the person that was paying your paycheck told you to shut up, would you shut up so you could continue to make that $5 million a year? Like, I don't know. Maybe. Don's a bossy guy and difficult to work with. Even he would admit that. He was a solo act before. He doesn't want to be in Destiny's Child, the source added, referring to the music group headlined by Beyoncé in their early aughts. Others close to Lemon confirmed the former primetime anchor is not happy about sharing the limelight with Harlow and Collins. Don has an intractable ego, a source close to both Litch and Lemon said. My understanding is he wants this show to be about him. I don't know how you fix that. It's a very difficult situation. I mean, I got a perfect situation. Why not just fire him, right? Because this is the thing that I don't understand. I don't understand why these like news companies do this. If you have someone that is extremely difficult to work with, that is an employee for your company, that there's a lot of people that do not like that individual, that this person only thinks of themselves, no one else, not even about the company. Why are you continuously paying this individual a lot of money while they're still being a headache? Like, that's the thing that I don't understand. It's like, imagine you have like a migraine, and so what you do, you spend millions of dollars to continue having a migraine. I don't understand why anyone would want to do that. Let's say it's never smooth sailing in the beginning, the source added. They are all trying to get their sea legs. And until November, Lemon had hosted his 10 p.m. show, Don Lemon Tonight, but it canceled it amid lackluster ratings and moved him to the morning show, which airs weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Oh wow, a 3-hour show. When news of the reshuffle broke, Lemon ripped reports that called him the move a demotion. In private, meanwhile, A Lemon confidant, told the Post that he didn't like that Collins had worked for the right-leaning website The Daily Caller before her gig covering the Trump White House for CNN. Like, isn't that weird? So you are being judgmental against a coworker because they simply worked for a different organization that had potentially different political viewpoints. Crazy to me. The December 8th incident was mentioned in passing in a report the following day by Puck News, which said Lemon had skipped his hosting duties on the following broadcast due to exhaustion. The report by senior correspondent Dylan Byers said Lemon needed the day off after a very tense segment, with Collins, who repeatedly tried to speak over him as he was reading the news, to his apparent annoyance. It'd be hard to blame Lemon for being annoyed, Byers added. He's still a young man, to be sure. You sure he's still a young man? You sure? Okay. The report raised eyebrows as Byers is also represented by Schur's Hollywood talent agency UTA, and industry sources said Collins' relationship with Schur's, meanwhile, has gone downhill, and that communication between them has been spotty. A source close to Litch said Litch's relationship with Schur's, who was once floated by Puck as a potential candidate for the job, now held by Litch, has been tense at times. But a source with knowledge says Schur's, who represents many CNN clients, met with Litch at the network's New York headquarters Thursday. And early this week, another Puck report emerged saying Collins was having a hard time adapting to her new assignment as anchor at CNN This Morning, while revealing fresh drops in ratings for the Last Place show, which have sunk below those of its predecessor, New Day. Collins rose to stardom as a Trump White House correspondent, where she made a name for herself as a fearless, take-no-BS reporter, but has yet to find her footing behind the desk, sharing the spotlight with older and more experienced anchors, Byers wrote. And, of course, there's no comments on this. I just thought that was kind of funny, because to me, if I was running a massive corporation and I had an employee that was just annoying to deal with and was a headache, and I was paying them millions of dollars and they were still being a headache, I would just fire them. Like, why would I want to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars for a raging migraine? Like, I don't understand that. And also, it's definitely weird to see just how much money some of these individuals make, right? So, like, hold on, let's see. Don Lemon or Lemon Pay 2023. Let's try this. Okay, Don Lemon Pay. Oh, Don Lemon Salary 2022. Let's try this. Let's see, Wealthy Gorilla. Okay, let's check this out. Don't know if this is actually going to be accurate or not. His net worth is about $12 million, according to WealthyGorilla.com. Age 56, born March 1st, 1966. Television personality. Okay, let's see. How does Don Lemon spend his money? Don Lemon is known for being one of the richest television presenters. His annual CNN salary is reported to be $4 million. His income is mostly from his salary and bonuses, and Lemon is a proud owner of a home in Sag Harbor. Interesting. And he paid apparently $3.1 million for his Sag Harbor home. That's a pretty hefty amount. You know, I always find it interesting, right? All these, like, extremely wealthy elite news anchors and, like, how they judge the common man is like, hey, like you're literally a multi millionaire living in a multi-million-dollar home. Probably have more multi-million-dollar homes. Probably have more multi-million-dollars in investments. And you are judging the working class individuals and then some. Like, really? It'd actually be cool if you could see his true salary, though. Hold on. Don Lemon, CNN contract. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not really seeing it. Hmm. It would have been nice to like actually see like a reported contract, but we can only really take some of these websites as their word. A lot of them are basically saying about 12 million is his net worth. Yeah. April 6th, 2022. I guess it's still about the $4 million mark. Might be more, might be less. I don't know. I just find it kind of interesting. Feel free to give your thoughts on this. I just find a lot of these talking heads on these news companies highly overpaid for what they do. That being said, there's like athletes that are extremely highly paid for what they do. Some people might agree with that, some people might not. I guess when it comes down to it, if they're bringing in money, that's really all that matters. That basically justifies how much they pay. I just don't really understand how are these talking heads bringing in so much money where the company can justify spending multiple millions of dollars on them and also having to deal with them. Like that's my main thing. It's like, really? Do I want to be spending millions of dollars to deal with some of these people? Probably not.